Dr. Parker here with the Crash Course Academy. I am a psychologist in Wichita, Kansas, and I teach classes and do videos, try to help people learn to think differently. And I wanted to show you something today that kind of impresses the power of learning to think differently and the importance of learning to think differently. When the iPhone 10 came out, I bought it and I was real happy with the phone and how it worked. But then the iPhone 11 came out and suddenly I began to realize I was missing a lot of things that I could be experiencing with my phone that people with the iPhone 11 could experience. So I began to research getting the iPhone 11 and learned that there wasn't a lot of difference between the 10 and the 11, physically. So do I buy the new phone even though physically it's the same? Well, I didn't want to spend all that money, so I would look at stuff the iPhone 11 could do, and then I would go out and find an app that would allow my phone to do what the 11 could do automatically. And so, for example, the 11 could take a photo in a really cool way. Well, the 10 couldn't do that. But if I took a photo with the 10 and then got this app and then took the photo and ran it through the app, then I could do some things to it, and then my photo looked cool, kinda. But the 11, it was just automatically cool. And then at some point, Apple released the operating system for the iPhone 11 to everybody. So I downloaded it to my iPhone 10 and suddenly, automatically, my iPhone 10 began to do the photos in that cool way. And I no longer needed those additional apps. And the additional apps weren't really bringing me what I wanted in the first place. And that's when it clicked for me. That's us. There's not a lot of difference between, the 10 and the 11. Well, there's not a lot of difference between you or me or her or him. We all have a very similar brain. We all have memory. But why is it that some people seem to have good experiences and enjoy life, whereas others of us have negative experiences and don't always enjoy life? And for those of us who don't have, always have good experiences and enjoy life, we got to do things, kind of like download an app. We have to rethink a situation to kind of make ourselves come to realize, well, that was a good thing. And it's just a lot of work, and we don't always like to do it. Well, if we could learn to automatically think a different way, if we could learn to download that new operating system into our minds, then we can start to have those experiences automatically. And so changing how you think is kind of at two levels. One is, I'm having negative experiences, so I go out and get the app. I go out and work on rethinking the situation. I go enroll in therapy. I go and join a group. I, try to rethink and reframe everything that went on so that after a while I feel better. But learning to take that new thought process, that reframing that you're doing, and programming it into your mind so that you begin to more automatically experience things in a positive way. And so where we can see this happening a lot of times is when we wake up in the morning. Our first thoughts of the day are coming from that automatic thought processes that we have loaded in. And so if I wake up in the morning to the alarm and I think, I don't want to go to work, and I hit the snooze, and I hit the snooze, and I keep thinking, I don't want to get up, I don't want to get up, I'm already thinking negatively. I'm thinking about what I don't want, and I'm predicting a negative day ahead. I may even say, I don't want to go to work because these bad things are going to happen. And as I get in the car, I begin to worry. Well, what if they lay me off today? What if I don't get that raise? What if they promote somebody else instead of me? And so I'm thinking negatively and I'm beginning to worry. And so by the time I get to work, I'm already defeated. And I spend the rest of the day trying to cheer myself up. And that's kind of like I've downloaded the old operating system so that I'm not getting the experience I want automatically. Now I got to get that app in there to redo everything so I can maybe start to have somewhat similar of an experience that everybody else seems to be having. Well, everybody else isn't having it, but it just seems like that to us. And I want you to know that that is possible. Learning to think differently, learning to load up the new way of thinking automatically. Instead of seeing yourself as the person you used to be, begin telling yourself you are the new person. Instead of seeing yourself someone who's failed many times, begin to see yourself as somebody who's going to be successful. Instead of seeing yourself as somebody who's made mistakes in relationships, see yourself as somebody who's going to have a good relationship in the future. Instead of seeing yourself as a bad dad, see yourself as a good dad, a bad employee, good employee, sinner, saint. Begin to program your mind with the new identity, and then begin listening to how you're thinking. Are you violating a lot of the fundamentals that we talk about a lot? And if you are new to this and you don't know what I'm talking about, go to my website, crashcourseacademy.net. They're all written down there. Check out some of the videos on this YouTube channel. There's more of them written there. There's big, deep, long discussions of them. There's short discussions. But learning to process data differently so that you will create different experiences for yourself is the answer. So just like when I had the 10 and I got the operating system for the 11, I downloaded it into my 10, suddenly I could have new experiences on my phone. The exact same thing can happen for you if you listen to how you're thinking now, which is negative, and begin downloading the new way of thinking into your mind so that you begin to more automatically think the new way, and then you'll begin to create new and better experiences for yourself. Think about it and change how you think. This is Dr. Parker with the Crash Course Academy. See you next time.